Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. Today, I'm here to talk to you about a recycling pattern. I called it COVID and the Ouroboros. The Ouroboros is an ancient alchemical symbol. It means coming full circle in the cycle of life, death, and reboot. The Ouroboros is generally depicted as something reptilian, which is symbolic of DNA. It could be a snake, a serpent, a dragon, and it's always coming full circle and eating its tail. It really symbolizes the journey of humanity in the alchemy of time that is now coming full circle. You may have noticed that since COVID, a lot of things in your life are coming full circle. We experience life in cycles or circles called time. Algorithms that continually repeat patterns with different experiences, but basically the pattern is the same. Since I'd say the 1980s, the pattern for humanity has been, and it is an ancient pattern, but it's been look at your life, healing, energy, and now more than ever, especially since COVID, people are looking at their lives. They've seen a lot of people who have passed, and the push in the DNA, in the grids, is to go back to childhood or anything in your past that needs to be cleared up or cleared out. Okay, it could be anything or anybody, it could be a situation, but more than ever, I'm finding people from my past coming back into my life, people from their past coming back into their life. It's just this endless, we're coming full circle. During the pandemic, which we are not quite finished with yet, it's COVID, we're in a better place right now, but we faced life and death on a global scale, directly or indirectly, touching the lives and emotions of everyone on the planet. I didn't personally lose anyone to COVID, but I know many people who did. So where has that left us in the code? Go back if you have issues that have caused you to have emotional problems, unable to deal now, anxiety, panic disorders. Go back to your childhood insofar as the behavior patterns and the DNA codes, because we're only DNA code, ones and zeros, the DNA codes of those who raised you, be they parents or pseudo parents or whoever they are. We have learned something through all of this. We have learned that we are fractured or wounded or broken souls here to figure out how we can heal and move into something we feel is coming. You can see it any way you want. You can look at it through mythology, religion, science, any way you look at it. But this reality, as we experience it now, is telling you, it's encoded in you, in your programming, that something is coming to an end. And that always takes people to, I have to deal with my issues, I have to resolve my issues. We know that COVID changed the human equation. And the human equation, it'll never go back to the way it was. And there were so many broken things in the old ways we did things that shutdown. Do you remember the day in March where our country shut down, other countries different times, but suddenly we shut down and we were placed into a bubble or an apartment, a home, a house, wherever we were. And there is where we were supposed to start to think about who are we, why are we here, why are we having a global pandemic, and what does this mean to us emotionally, mentally, physically, where is it going to go? We still don't know where it's going to go. We still don't know. We know COVID is pretty much gone, but we still don't know about all these variants that pop up in India and here and there, wherever. They're popping up. We don't know what they're going to do. So we're left in this quasi reality state of Who are we? Why are we here? You know, it's the eternal questions. Why are we here? The Ouroboros will take things full cycle. On the physical level, I have never seen so many people who want to heal their issues. It's like, it's every other client having something, but it's a little more specific right now because it's not so much about your life today as your life in the past. You have to clean and clear out what was, and it will bring you to now and what's ahead. Or so our programming tells us. I question everything, okay? I mean, the equation has changed. COVID seems to be like a window for those programmed with emotional problems, which generally lead to substance abuse issues, which deal with just endless issues. So, how are we going to deal with our issues? Well, you know what? It's not going to change that much. We may go to therapy, we may find ways of balancing the chemistry in the brain. Okay, is it the reptilian brain, which takes us to Ouroboros, which makes us angry and aggressive, and we're like going to act out, we're going to rage out, and all this, you know, everything connected to that. Is that what we're going to do? And are we going to do this in a peaceful way with energy work like meditation, yoga, whatever, however you do it? Just make sure that however you're doing your energy work, your body's okay with it. Like if you get out your anger, frustration, and rage by running 5 miles a day, take a quick pause and say, well, just a minute. Is it hurting my knees, my back, my everything? And the fact that I couldn't do this during COVID because we were quarantined, what has that resulted in? High blood pressure, anxiety, panic disorders. It's like we never get out of it. One thing will bring us to another set of issues, to another. Hey, I didn't program this. I'm just telling you, as a psychic, a therapist, and a teacher, this is what's been shown to me. Okay, now, a lot of people now are getting very creative and coming full circle. Like they'll tell me things like, I have one professor who said to me, she said, you know, all through the years that I worked, I always wanted to do art. I just wanted to be an artist. Then COVID happened. I retired. And now that the city, I'm talking about New York City, is opening up, I'm going to take a class in art and design. We are becoming creative. We are getting away from the reptilian brain or the left side of the brain. We're going to the right side of the brain, which is creativity. So how do we create? I mean, we can go back to early man, Neanderthal. They wanted to create what they saw. They painted on stone. You know, they used whatever they found in nature to create what they saw. Uh, it goes to music, writing, and now, of course, we have the visual arts. We have all the tech stuff so that we can take whatever we need to do to heal ourselves by bringing that message to others. You know, that's the pattern. Heal yourself, heal others by healing yourself, or heal yourself by healing others. That's the better way to put it. But it's a pattern. It has been for eternity. Okay. I know some of you do not have the ability to do something creative, like to draw or to write or to do anything creative because it's not available to you, but you'll find a way. There's always a way to say, this is creative. And the reason you go creative is to tell your story and hopefully to bring some beauty into this collapsing reality, because that is what's happening. Reality is a simulation. The grids are collapsing. We are dealing with the reboots of the simulation day after day. It reboots are like the Ouroboros. It reboots, set of issues, deal with them, try to do it creatively rather than through anger and rage. But you know what? You are your program code. And when you start to look back and say, well, why do I anger and rage and why am I so screwed up? It's because someone in your immediate biogenetic family, parents, grandparents, you know, carry the gene for this and it's passed down to you. Come on, this is 2021. And by now you should understand this. The question is to come full circle with your DNA or your Ouroboros, to deal with it immediately or to say, well, okay, fine, I get it. Okay, my parents were abusive to me. They did this and that to me when I was young, or they're just crazy alcoholics or whatever. And that's why I am the way that I am. That's dealing intellectual, the ability to let go of whatever people did to you. And I do it in chapters. It's the first 20 years of your life that really structure the rest. To be able to say, I let go and mean it and be fully functioning and fully understanding. And I don't know, what do they call it? Fully aware, whatever. None of us are fully aware, by the way, because we're not programmed for that. But to understand that is one thing intellectually. To emotionally say, well, you know, it's Father's Day coming up soon. And you know, my father is this, that, and the other thing, or was this, that, and the other thing, or he was such a terrible father that before he died, he finally came back to make peace with me and say, I'm sorry for everything I did to you. You know, it's endless patterns. It's wherever your DNA takes you in our program reality. You may want to follow religion to heal, mythology, metaphysics. Metaphysics is the big one for healing, or wherever your DNA and belief systems take you. You are encoded for not just all the stuff that's happening to you here. You're encoded to put that aside if you're programmed to. Remember that. If you can't let it go and it eats away at you all the time, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that you are programmed that way, because not everybody is going to heal their issues in the time that remains. It's just not the way it is. And I didn't design it, and I didn't design your story. And I really, really do not believe that we signed a contract. Whoever came up with that nonsense, we signed the contract before our souls came into a physical body, that we are going to deal with all these issues through our lifetime. That's not true. It's all, think of the logarithmic spiral, Fibonacci. It's all random. Big source of creation, little sparks of light, of which we are all, you know, it's all the sparks of light, or what come out of the projection from the simulation. So we're these little sparks of light. We randomly come into a body unless there's some greater thing that we're here to do, but it's just random. And that's how we play it out. That's how we play our lives until everything comes full circle. No matter what you're following, you need to know that you are encoded for these patterns. This is the journey of humanity in the alchemy of time, as the Ouroboros, or our DNA storylines, are taking us full circle. Everything in your life now, even the things you see on TV, here, there, wherever, should be telling you here internally, something is coming full circle, to which your soul right now in this part of the simulation has come in to experience. Okay, we are actually at a really keynote time in the simulation. I mean, you could be anywhere. You could be on another planet, you could be an alien, whatever it is, but no matter where you are, something is telling you, your DNA, your genes, your snake stuff, okay, whatever it is, it's telling you that we are at the end of something. Where we're going from here, I couldn't tell you, because I don't know, but it's coming. And people from your past, friends, family, acquaintances, teachers, healer, and they're going to start to come in, and they're coming in for closure. Remember, we're at a time of closure. If you're still dealing with the issues of your family, you can tell your brain, I'm going to let this go. I don't care. They did what they did, and I'm done. Okay. I'm Ouroboros DNA, but this is completely up to you and your programming. So on that note, COVID did have a global pandemic effect physically. People died and others were left to mourn and heal and figure out, why did somebody, my aunt, my uncle, my friend, why did they die? Why did they have to suffer? That's the programming here in third dimension. Does it suck? Yeah, pretty much it does. But for the time being, for while we're here and what we're doing, we're going to live with it until the Ouroboros comes full circle and it's over. And think of it as the logarithmic spiral. It's not really just, biting its tail. It's going round and round. And think Fibonacci. Center of Fibonacci is 0. Okay. When you look at Fibonacci numbers, you have 0, comma, 1, comma, 2, comma, 3. You add 2 to get to the next. When everybody sees 1111, that's the 0, comma, 1, comma, 1. Okay. That's been there for decades. Now, I really believe, coming full circle, the 0 represents the Ouroboros, but we have moved past the 1111 because very few people talk about it anymore. And we are now at the 0, comma, 1. That's where we are. 10 reverse, if you want to look at it that way. This is where we are. We know we're going somewhere. We know it's going to happen in our lifetimes, hopefully, real soon, so that everybody could experience. And once your soul is free from the electromagnetic gravity pull of the grids of this ridiculous reality, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but whatever it was, it's an emotional experience. When you're free of that, you'll get everything. You'll understand everything. You don't have to ask about this and about that because intuitively you will know. You will be free. You will not be you. I won't be Ellie. You won't be whoever you are. You'll be free from everything. You will be light and consciousness and know the whole deal. And then the simulation fades to black and we all go back. That little circle, the Ouroboros, that's the circle through which the simulation projects the images. And on that note for today, I say thank you for listening. To be continued. Ooh, that turned out well. Don't end the meeting. I'm not.